goes on in their life so that you will be able to be there for them. Let me quickly share the link so that we can get started. How to get your child to open up to you. There's a story trending now that VDM shared yesterday. A boy, an 11-year-old boy who the parents sent, to go and learn, instead of the boy to just be playing and running about the neighborhood after school, they sent him to an older person's shop, go and learn skill, maybe carpentry, shoemaking, mechanic, just anything. Go and learn skills, get busy, get productive, learn away from the four walls of the classroom. The parent didn't do anything bad now. They send the child there to go and learn. Guess what? This uncle was actually abusing this child, and the parents had no idea. It got so bad that the child now was used to it, and the child now wanted also to be doing it to other children. Who knows? Maybe the child had even done it to other children. It was when they traveled, according to the news, they traveled and they got to know, because he was trying to do it to his cousin. That one said no. That one reported. They called a family meeting, and that was how it was found out that it was discovered that where the boy was learning the skill was where the boy was being abused. Of course, the uncle denied at first. No, it's not true. So they went to the hospital to check the boy, to at least to see if actually the boy had been penetrated, for them to know whether to believe or not. That was when they realized that was not even the issue. The boy had been infected with HIV. And of course, they took the uncle there too, and they discovered that, yep, the uncle too had HIV. Now, my question is, the uncle didn't just come one day to start, like, he didn't just get to that extent that the boy was now thinking of doing it to other people. Something, it started. The boy did not just start learning work there 1 day, 2 days. The first time it happened, why did the boy not tell the parents when he got home? Like, mommy, daddy, see what his uncle tried to do to me. Why did the boy not tell his parents? Why did he not tell his teacher? Why did he not tell any adult around? Things happen to children every single day. As a parent, do your children tell you what happens to them? Do they confide in you? I remember when I was growing up a long time ago, there was a distant relative that lived around us. So we used to go to not even school and lessons together, and there was a boy in her compound that was asking me to date him. I think I was less than JSS3 then. I was in lower secondary school, or was it about JSS3? I don't remember precisely. Pedro, I don't forget his name. He asked me to date him, and I said, no, I wasn't going to date him. And the boy is threatening me. If you don't date me, if you don't be my girlfriend, the next time you come to this compound, I will slap you. I will deal with you. I called him bluff, and I went. And of course, true to his words, his promise, the next time I went to the compound, he slapped me. A very, the kind of slap that you see stars. And I wasn't going to tell my parents. I didn't plan to tell my parents. I didn't plan to tell anyone. But coincidentally, my mommy learned of it. And because the slap was just like, this slap actually got my eyes literally turning me. So I remember I went in, I was crying, I stayed by my gate. I have an elder sister, and she was very tough in those days. So I was confident she would come and fight for me. So I went to tell her, and to my disappointment, nope, she did nothing. So when my mom came, my mom saw me crying, and that was how my mom went there, and that was the end of it. Why wasn't I going to tell my parents? Let's look at it. Why wasn't I going to tell my parents? Things happen every day to children, to teenagers, to preteens. They are supposed to share with their parents. If you have followed me long enough on this channel, you will hear me always ask these questions. If your child doesn't talk to you about what goes on in his or her life, how would you know as a parent? And if you don't know, how will you be able to guide that child? How will you help the child find closure? Your child must be able to talk to you. And funny enough, very many parents will think, oh, I have done everything. I remember one time a parent reached me, a single mom. Her daughter had an experience, and her daughter didn't tell her. So her daughter told her best friend. Her best friend told her mom, and her mom came to tell this parent's mom. And she was like, We are close, we are friends, we do everything. I try not to be too harsh on her. So why could she not open her mouth to tell me what was about to happen or what almost happened to her? And I said, sometimes for children to be able to speak to you, it's actually more than having a connection with them. And it reminds me again of a story of someone, she may see this video, close to me. When she was growing up, there was a boy in her neighborhood that was asking her out, So is he a boy now, a man? I'm not sure. So she went to tell her father, and her father was all dramatic about it. Her father went, even reported the matter to the police, and the whole street got to know about it, and she felt so embarrassed. After that day, she never told her dad anything again, because her friends, they were just mocking her with it, like, you this baby, see, come on, because a boy was toasting you, a boy was asking you out, you went to tell your father baby's girl and all of that. So many times, for our children to be able to confide in us, tell us what goes on with them, it's actually more than you. Oh, I have done everything now. There are so many things you do as a parent that will prevent your child from being able to open up to you, and that is what we are talking about today. So as usual, what you want to do for me is to go and get your bottled water, get your pen, get your writing materials, because you are going to take notes. So if you have been doing some of the things before, thumbs up. You need to intensify them. And if you have not been doing them before, please, this class is a wake-up call for you to get to work. Because if your child doesn't confide in you, if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know what goes on in the life of your child, you will not be able to guide them. Before you know, you may know too late. Just like in the case of the parent I shared, they know now, but it is too late. The child has HIV already. Anyway, it is not too late. They still can rehabilitate the child and do a lot of things for the child. What broke my heart the most was when VDM said something that even the community, they are planning to onboard the child. So onboard, whatever that means. Is it to take the child out of this world, or to ostracize the child, like, don't come to our community again? I don't know what it means to onboard the child. So that what he meant by onboard the child, so that the child will not go and teach other children too, because he was already going to experiment with a child about his age, so that and who knows, maybe he has already tried it with some other boys too, other children too. Now this one is not a boy to girl, it's a boy to boy. So we need to understand what goes on in the life of our children. They should be comfortable enough, or it should just be a normal, a family, our lifestyle, our culture, for your child to be able to come to you and share things with you. Let's go there. My name is Enimia Orebo, and welcome to Parenting with Enimia Orebo. Parenting with Enimia Orebo is a channel that is powered by the Visionary Parents Academy. The Visionary Parents Academy is an academy where parents get empowered with parenting skills to parent the child they have. You will agree with me that it's a tough time. So for every intentional parent, for every parent with a vision, you need an accountability community. You need skills, you need knowledge. It is what we provide you in our vibrant parenting community. It's an all-year community. You register just once in a year and you have access to everything we do all through the year. Now, if you are not registered for the entire year, we have courses, challenges we do every month. And next month, the month of June, we are doing an amazing course, challenge, reparenting yourself, so that you can heal, because we realize that we are parenting from a place of wound, a place of baggage, a place of trauma. Did you see the video Mercy Agbe made? Yes. Her daughter was far away in Canada studying, and one day she was calling the girl wasn't taking. So when she eventually was able to call the girl through the girl's phone, through the girl's friend, the girl said, "Mommy, I'm traumatized." And why are you traumatized? And she said, she was recalling, she said, "One day you hit me with a bucket." So Mercy, what is there? After all, her mom hit her with a bucket, so why would she not hit you with a bucket? Maybe you did something and all of that. Imagine that girl in faraway land, Canada. Nobody, no friends, no parents, no family there, nothing, no comfort. Nothing to provide her safety and comfort. Then the only thought of home that could just, when you have this thought of home, you remember the good times, you smile. The only thought of home that could make her smile was thought of trauma, was thought of being dehumanized, being abused. What do you think happens? That people suffer depression, a lot of things these days. We don't know their roots. We are not able to trace them. Nah. So it is why we need to reparent ourselves. See another girl, the 19-year-old girl that just took her life because she did not pass JAMB. What do you think? Maybe the expectations. There are a million and one things she could have done away from JAMB. You know, she's 19. So what? So what? She will still get to JAMB and still graduate. At the end of the day, some people were recalled back to the to write the JAMB again. But she took her life. She wasn't even able to tell her parents how she was feeling, how much burden she had. She just had to go like that. So we need, it's possible that her parents expected too much from her. The expectations were just overbearing, overwhelming rather. She couldn't take it. And you know, these expectations, believing that, oh, it has to be school, it has to be school, it has to be school, we put on our children. It is actually because of how we were raised, how we were nurtured to think that school. There are many people that didn't necessarily go to school that are doing so fantastically well. Let's look at Cosmo Maduka. Let's look at Vicky James. Those are the people that are in Nigeria we know. Let's look at other people that dropped out. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates. I'm not saying it's okay to drop out. I'm just saying that the parents could have been able to use these people as examples for the girl. Now that JAMB is not coming up, JAMB is jamming you. Why don't you learn a skill while you wait? Who knows? That skill you are maybe the part you are, maybe what God is calling you to come and do. You know, that skill may be what God is calling you to come and do. You know, no, that didn't happen. Instead, what happened, maybe the expectations to go to school was just too overwhelming, and at the end of the day, the girl went to take her own life. So sad. So sad. So now this is why we are reparenting ourselves, so that we don't raise our children based on the mindset that are no longer valid. Because whether you like it or not, a lot of things were valid when we were being raised, but today they are no longer valid. Like my kids came back from school singing one song, you know, like if you pass your exam, you become a doctor, you become a lawyer. If you don't pass, you go and learn tailoring. You know, they were singing the song. I had a good laugh. I said, you need to come and see tailors today, fashion designers. Then you will know that you will know that some people will go to school, they will pass, they will come back again and still go and learn. Those tailoring people are thinking is something. Now it is no longer. It is no longer what it used to be. So those thoughts back then were valid. Were they not valid? Because yes, you go and learn tailor, you go and learn mechanic, you go and learn vulcanizing, they were valid. But now those mindsets are no longer valid. They are no longer valid. So we need to reparent ourselves so that we can know the children we are raising, and you raise them well, and we don't come with the archaic mindset we have to raise them. Okay, thank you. So let's go into what we have today so that we don't spend all the time talking about other things. But firstly, remember, we have the challenge for next week, reparenting yourself. Reparenting yourself is the challenge we have for next week. And we'll be very we'll be glad to have you join us to reparent yourself. So let's go fair. How you can earn your child's trust so that your child will be able to trust you and share with you. First thing I have here is, okay, I'm going to be sharing from one mini book I wrote, 30 tips to earn your child's trust. I may not share everything, but if you are the Visionary Parents Academy, you are definitely going to get it after today so that you can go and finish it up and read it up. If you're not in the Visionary Parents Academy, you want to get it, it's fantastic, it's okay. Just reach out to me and I'll tell you how to get it. First thing is, you need to listen effectively all the time. One thing, in the Visionary Parents Academy, we are reading the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I have mine on my table. How to Win Friends and Influence People, you know, by Dale Carnegie or something like that. Every single thing in that book boils down to one fact. Everybody loves importance. Everybody loves to be important. Everyone loves to feel important. So whether you are going to let that person talk about themselves, you are going to tell the person and sell the benefits of what you are trying to tell that person to them, the truth of the matter is everyone likes to feel important. Everyone wants to be at the center. Whether people like to be on stage or people like to be behind the stage, everyone likes this feeling of importance. And one thing that happens is, if you cultivate the habit of listening to your child when they speak, effectively listening, Your child is talking to you. Your child is your priority. They are talking to you. You are paying attention. You are giving them that feeling of importance. They are going to know they are important to you. So as a parent, one of the very first things you need to learn is how to listen effectively, how not to be divided. You may think, oh, it's not a big deal. I tell you, it is a big deal. Your child feels important when you learn to listen to him. They feel important, and if they feel important, they will always trust you. They will always come back to you. You know, they feel important, they feel respected. That is the very first thing you need to know. Help your listen effectively all the time. And how do you listen? You listen by putting away everything. You are not distracted. Your attention is not distracted. You are not talking to your child and you are scrolling on social media. You are not talking to your child and other things are distracting you. Of course, there are times that even though your child is more important than a lot of other things, but there are times that, okay, you actually genuinely need to get things done. So you may not be readily available for your child. You know what you can do is, like I always say, you can tell them, give me a minute, give me 2 minutes. What I do for my children is like this. I've shared it here several times, so if you followed us long enough, you know I've shared this in several times. So what I do with my children in that case, I just tell them 2 minutes. They know this is 2 minutes. They know this is 1 minute. I don't even do 5. I just do 2 or 1. It simply means just give me 2 minutes, or just give me a minute and I'll be back to you. Let your child know that they are important. You know, the next thing is you want to take interest in their interest. Yes. To earn your child's trust, you need to be interested in your children's activities. Be interested in what they are doing. You know, one of the things that happens when you are interested in what your children are doing is that you will have a common topic to talk about. You have a common subject to talk about. When you take interest in their interest, you have a common subject to talk about. I've said it here several times that my kids love animals. Now they have a day set aside of the 7 days of the week where they research. What they do that day is research. They come back from, on Saturday, it's not a school day. So they have 1 hour each where they research. So most times one of my kids is researching about animals. And he comes to bore me with the interest. Because of him, I've learned a lot about animals now. And when he's talking, I'm not dumb. We are talking together. We are fascinated by the strength of, the other day was telling me about how ants are the strongest animals. I said, okay, explain. He was telling me because how an ant can carry how many ants they can carry, how many ants, unlike even humans, they cannot carry the number of, like, let's say an ant can carry 10 ants. A human being cannot carry 10 human beings their size, you know. So an ant can carry 10 ants. I'm not saying 10, I don't remember the number he said. An ant can carry a certain number of ants their size. So which actually makes them very strong. You know, so take interest so that you have a reason to always talk. This morning he just came to ask me, Mommy, has a pet ever hit you before? You know, telling me a wogeko fell on his body, and I was trying to share my experiences with him. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's not what you want to listen to, but you just need to take interest in their interest. Remember, you don't have all your life to do this. Like I said the other time in our last class, it can just be only 18 years, only 17 years that you have to be with them, to develop this bond, to have this talk to them. After that, they are gone. And if you have a child who's in boarding school, it's even worse for you, because if you calculate it, they don't stay at home all too long. Maybe in a year you can be with them for, maybe in a year you can be with them for 2 months or 3 months at most. In the 12 months in a year, you can be with them for like 3 months at most. The remaining 9 months they are in school, because second term is about 6 weeks, third term is about 6 weeks holiday. The first time is about 2-3 weeks holiday. Then the other is about 2-3 weeks holiday. That's about 12 weeks. So you have 12 weeks to stay with them or to be with them, you know, every other time, and they are in school. So what you want to do, the little time you are staying together, you have to maximize it, take advantage of it. So take interest in their interest. Is not even negotiable. Another thing you need to do is encourage truth speaking and believe in them. Encourage them to speak the truth. Tell your children they need to speak the truth. They need to speak the truth. Something happened in my kids' school last week, my oldest child school last week. You know, so when he came back, he shared with me exactly what happened. I went to the school and I was talking to the teacher about it. Of course, not dramatic and all of that, because he said he was flogged. something happened in his class and he was flogged and he went to report. So after going to report, when the teacher came, after the teacher had come, the teacher flogged him among others. So when he told me, I was like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, if something happens in your class, you go and report and the teacher still comes to flog you, it simply mean that when it happens next time, you will not want to report, which means these children who are constituting nuisance in the class, they can get away and they will keep getting away with these things they are doing. So at the end of the day, the school, you want to sanitize the school, you want to make sure, okay, the children are well behaved. You are not going to achieve it because no one wants to speak up. So I went to the school and the teacher, they called the teacher that flogged them, and the teacher was telling me, no, it wasn't my son that came to report. My son did not come to report. He learnt on his own. I told him, my son said he came to report. He was telling me it wasn't my son that came. I said, no, my son said he came to report. So at the end of the day, they said, okay, let's go and call. I was confident that my son actually went to report because he told me he went to report. So I believed he went to report. So when when they called him eventually, now here's the thing. When they were going to call him, I didn't have any issue because, like I always say, I've come to a place in my parenting where everything is a win-win for me. If it was investigated, he wasn't the one that went to report, it still would have been a win for me because I would have told him that, you see, this is why you need to tell the truth. Now you've told a lie. I went to school, I tried to defend you, I'm embarrassed. Next time, do you think I will come and defend you? The teacher, they will be seeing you in a different light, and I too may not be able to defend you again. So I teach my children the benefit of telling the truth. You're not telling the truth because of me. You're not telling the truth because you don't want mommy to get upset. You're not telling the truth because you want to look good in the presence of mommy. That is not why you are telling the truth. You are telling the truth so that as your mom, I can trust you. You are telling the truth so that your friends, everybody can trust you. And when people trust you, they will be able to defend you. You are telling the truth so that people can trust you, they can vouch for you, they can stick out their heads for you, they can defend you. It is for your own benefit and it has nothing to do with me. I always tell them that if you tell a lie right now, it will not reduce, it will not worsen my health. It will not make me start having malaria. If you tell a lie right now, it will not make my car break down. If you tell a lie right now, it will not remove the money in my account. It will make me not be able to afford what I'm supposed to be able to afford. If you tell a lie, so at the end of the day, you telling a lie is for your own good because people don't trust you. When people don't trust you, they will relate with you based on the fact that they don't trust you. That is how they will relate to you. So if it happened that day in school that he actually lied to me that he wasn't the one that reported, yet he said he was the one that reported, it still would have been a win-win for me. It would have been a teachable moment. So eventually the teacher said, oh, he wasn't the one that reported, my son wasn't the one that reported, but he heard it somewhere. So they asked to call him, they went to call him, and when he came back, he said, yes, he was the one that reported. He did not report to the teacher, he reported to the secretary. So this secretary now had to go and tell that particular teacher because he was a discipline teacher. The secretary had to go and tell the teacher that was what happened. So he was the one that reported. So that was why I was able to go there and defend him. Now, because I was able to defend him, do you think if something happens next time, he will not tell me? Of course he will tell me. In the Visionary Parent Academy, this month is about our connection month. So we are having a 30 days challenge to help us build relationship, deepen our relationship with our children. And one of the tasks we had the other day was to write letters to our children. I wrote letter to my children, and I woke up this morning and my son wrote a letter back to me. After reading the letter I wrote to him yesterday, he wrote a letter back to me. And one of the things he put in the letter was the fact that, where is it said? Blah, 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 blah. You are always there for me. When I got flogged wrongly, you were there for me. When he got flogged wrongly, I was there for you. That's one of the things he wrote in the letter. What does that tell you? Yeah, I was able to be there for him because he told me the truth. Like I told him, I was able to be there for you because you told me the truth. Because I'm confident that you would not come to lie to me. And you're not coming to lie to me because, like, it's for your own good that you don't tell lies. So if you tell lies now and I go there, I go and embarrass myself, then tomorrow I will not have the confidence to defend you. So you encourage your children to speak the truth. If you have young children, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It is time for them to be experimenting, time for them to start understanding how life works. So one of the ways they want to survive is by lying. Because they see that when they lie to you, when they don't lie, when they tell the truth, oh, maybe you are so reactive, maybe something happens, you are all dramatic and all of that. So they want to survive that your drama. They want to survive your authoritarianism or your smacking or your yelling or your threatening. They want to survive that. They don't want it. So what they want to do is to tell you a lie. So if you have young children, it is time for you to begin to nurture speaking truth in them. It will not happen 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but you just gradually be nurturing it, model it. I tell my children, I'm too big to lie. There is nothing. I will not do something that I cannot defend. Anything I cannot defend, I won't do it. That is why you will not see me gossiping. Even to my children, we don't talk about people. I tell them that small-minded people talk about people. We don't talk about people. We're talking about purpose. We're talking about purpose. Even when they come back from school, mommy, what happened in school? I listen, and what I get to tell them, okay, what do you learn from it? How can you how can you find your purpose out of all these things, so that to channel their mind into purpose seeking and not just pettiness. So encourage truth speaking, encourage your children to speak the truth. And when they tell you the truth, please trust them, believe them. Because there is something, one of the things that happens is if your child comes to tell you something that has happened and you don't believe them, next time they will not want to tell you again. It's just simple logic. Maybe they come to report an issue to you. You don't believe them. They will not want to tell you something next time. I remember someone writing on Facebook that something happened in school, something like that. The teacher, I don't know what happened between the teacher and the child, that my children know that when they come to report to me, I am going to ask them, what did you do? She said it so much so that she is going to make the children know that your teacher cannot flog you, cannot just flog you randomly. Your teacher cannot pick on you. You must have done something that will make your teacher pick on you. So no matter what the child tells her, she is not taking the child for it, her child's word for it. She's going to believe the teacher. Really? So if you don't believe your child, I tell you for free, they will not come and tell you anything again. You know it now. You check it as an adult. If there is someone, maybe something happens, you go and tell them, see what happens and all of that. They doubt you. Tomorrow when something happens, will you have the mind to go and tell them again what happened? You may not want to tell them again what happened. After all, the other time I told you, you didn't take it seriously, you didn't believe in me. So why should I now come and tell you again? So that is it. So what you want to do is to make sure that you trust your children, and you show. It's not by saying, I trust my children. You show, you trust them. You trust them, you can defend them. Now, because before you trust them, please, you teach them that they need to always tell the truth. And teach them that, see, like I've shared with you, telling the truth is for your own good. This is one of the things I tell my children. Like one of the books we are reading, one of the things the author is talking about is that you sell the benefits. When you want to meet someone, you let the person know the benefit the person is going to gain from your proposition. That is one way to capture the person. So the same thing I say to parents, whatever value you want your children to learn, whatever it is, you need to sell to them the benefit. So for my children, they know that when they lie, I don't trust them. So I tell them no reason is good enough to tell lies. Even when you fart, who farted? It is you. No matter what it is, I said to them, it is better for you to be disciplined than for you to tell a lie. Because the effect of telling a lie, you will not be able to, you will not like it. I will not trust you. And if I don't trust you, you may not be able to tell me things. And if you don't tell me things again, how can I come through for you when you need me? So you must teach your children to tell the truth. And when they tell the truth, please believe them. Number 4 is when they get into trouble, don't blame them. This happens a great deal. I remember back in Lagos, one day we're in school, went for, so I think it was during the holiday or something, like just go and inquire about this school and all of that. So there was a parent that was there with her child about 2 to 4 years, so the child fell and the parent was so angry, was not smacking the child. I kept telling him to stop running. You didn't listen to me. Now you are running, you have injured yourself. And I was like, are you kidding me? Your child just fell, and she told the child, I'm going to rub methylated spirit on this your leg. It will pain you, and that's good for you. Your child just fell and injured, and what you do is blaming. She is a child, and what do you expect for her to sit down like a robot? Of course. What children are not wired to sit and to be idle. No, children are not wired not to be busy. Children are wired to be busy. It is why they are always looking for things to do. You cannot, that is how they are wired. Now, if you not have a child who is a sanguine or who is a choleric, you don't expect the child to sit down. Something is wrong somewhere. A child who is sanguine. Children are wired to be busy because they are curious, because their life is the life of, they don't have anything, they don't have no worries. You sit there, you are thinking about, I was asking a girl yesterday, are you thinking of school fees? Are you thinking of your children's food? Are you thinking of house rent? Because you live under your parents. So why are you telling me I will not understand? Children don't have things they don't have things they are bothered about. They are free. They are in that stage of joy where they are so happy. And then they are curious. Because they are, how you feel when you are happy, you want to dance. Ooh. They are constantly in the state of joy. So they want to dance. They want to walk. They want to be free. And then they are curious. They want to see what this is. They want to see what that is. And then you have the one that is a sanguine or choleric and they have energy. You expect them to sit down. Nah, you're doing your child a great deal of disservice if you actually punish your child for that. So when children make mistakes, don't go blame me. Because when you start blaming, the next thing they do is, mommy will always blame us. Daddy will always blame us. Then they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to share what goes on with them because you will always blame them. So if you are a parent and you are constantly blaming your child, just get it now that, many times things will happen, they will not want to share with you. They will not want to share with you. I hear parents and adults, when people talk about, being, when guests talk about, being forced against their will, they will say, what were you wearing? And this, you are already blaming them. So once you are blaming them, they will not going to tell you, after all, they are going to blame me. They are going to ask me, what did I go and do in his house? They are going to ask me, what was I wearing? They are going to ask me, didn't I see the red flags? Didn't I see this one? So they will not want to share with you. So minimize the blame. I always say it is adding insult to injury. It is not going to solve it is not going to, okay, let's even talk about it. Even adult to adult, when something happens and you are blaming, what is it going to do? What difference is it going to make? What difference is it going to make? It is not going to give you solution. So why are you blaming? Because when something happens, it is expected that what you think about is solution. Okay, let's find a way out. Let's figure this out. Let's get solving. So why are you now blaming? Will the blame solve the issue? No. And guess what? Many times when things happen, like yesterday, my kids were in the kitchen. My 8-year-old was making pancake. So I was at the other side and he was making pancake. And he was going to show me something. So he had one he had one on fire he was going to flip. He had one he had already made in his plate on his hand. I don't know what else he was going to do again. The next thing, the one he was holding in his hand fell. And my china shattered, So that is it. It can happen. So I asked him, okay, what lesson did you learn from this? He told me not to be careless with chinas again, to just hold it firmly or to put it down. After all, he had already finished with that. So he would just put it down. He would come and show me what he wanted to show me. And then he would now go back and flip the other one he had on fire. The truth of the matter is, when things happen, your children already have received the consequence of that action. They have faced it already. Like I told you, the parents who said, who was smacking yelling at the child because the child fell. I understand. She warned the child. She had already warned the child, don't jump about or sit in one place. But the child jumped about. The child did not listen to you. The child fell and got injured. That is enough consequence already. So what you should do at that time is not to blame. It's to empathize. Oh, you fell and injured. Hey, sorry. What have you learned about this now? That this kind of place is not a place you should run around, right? That is it. So minimize the blame, because the more you blame your child, the more you push them away. No matter how much relationship we have with a child, when you blame them, they don't want you to blame them. Nobody likes being criticized. Nobody likes being criticized. Blame is criticism. You are criticizing them, and most times they are already feeling bad. Then you are now still adding your criticism to it. They won't like it, so they will not want to share with you. I hope you are writing down. Don't worry, if you're in the Visionary Parents Academy, you are going to get this handbook I'm sharing from. The next one is prioritize them. We always say, oh, our children are the most important things to us. Are they really? Do we show it? Prioritize them. I've heard a lot of times children go and get things done. They just feel, oh, my parents will not have my time. My parents will not do this. I've seen it several times. You know, when I'll ask children, they'll say, no, I'm not even bothered. I won't tell my parents. Say, well, I say they will not have the time. I heard it in Lagos several times. Even here, I'm still hearing it. Here that also we don't have the kind of transportation we have in Lagos where people stay on the road for hours when they are going to work. So there's always pressure. This place, the pressure is kind of minimized, you know, even though money pressure is not minimized anywhere. But that's rush hour pressure is minimized. Children will still tell me, oh, my parents do not have time. What does that tell you? I am not their priority. I am not top on their list. And if your child has the impression that he or she is not your priority, I tell you, they'll be selective of what they want to share with you. There are things they really want to share. They will not share with you. After all, you will not have their time. After all, you will not prioritize them. So please, what you want to do, prioritize your child. It's not just by saying, oh, I prioritize my child. Show actually that you prioritize them. Now, I'm trying to rush the points because it's a lot, but I may not be able to exhaust it because once we do 1 hour, then we are going to be out of here. Remember, our challenge for next week is reparenting yourself. The truth of the matter is you may not be able to take action on these things I'm sharing with you if you don't reparent yourself. Because yes, we were raised in a certain way, and we have been programmed. Now, for you to unprogram yourself, right, you need to reparent yourself. So you need to go back and sit back and ask yourself, what were the things you actually were, how were you raised that did not produce the best of you? It is not everywhere. It's not everything our parents did that was bad. No, yet not everything they did that really helped us. For example, one of the things my parents consistently do, especially my dad, was comparing us. My dad will always compare us. Actually, there was a family that was close by. Every time the children were saints in my daddy's eyes, it was always like, go and see this, go and see these children, go and see these children, constantly comparing us. And it affected me a great deal. One other thing my dad used to do also was that, you know, my dad being primarily melancholy, you know how they are. They don't like noise, they don't like sound. Those things disturb them, they easily get irritated. So we children playing about the house was always attracted beating for us, you know. So we're not allowed to be so expressive, play, jump and laugh. It was a no in my home growing up. So I kind of carried that thing to when I started raising my children. I remember when my kids were much younger, you know, when they are playing about, I'm like, you are disturbing me, stay in one place. Until one day I asked myself, what are these children supposed to do? I mean, I studied psychology, I should know better. What are these children supposed to be doing if not playing? You know, when I realized that, I started to sit back and I went through how I was raised and a lot of things I knew that I needed to unlearn. If I did not unlearn them, hi, thank you, Nanji, Ojeg, thank you, Tekuma, thank you. I knew that if I did not reparent myself, I may traumatize my children. So I had to go back to literally look at all the things I was raised, and the ones that did not make me, the ones that actually broke me. I had to deliberately see how I can unlearn them, and that is what we are doing next month. We are going to sit back and look at all the ways we were raised that did not make us, rather that broke us, and we are deliberately going to unlearn them, because the truth of the matter is, if we don't unlearn them, there's every tendency that we are going to raise our children that way, and we are going to break our children. Like I always say, the fact that you were able to navigate, you are not totally crushed by how you were raised, doesn't mean your child will not be crushed. I just shared the story of the 19-year-old girl that took her life. What happened? Because she did not pass JAM. This JAM gave her way lower than she expected, so she got so discouraged, and that was how she ended her life. Now the truth of the matter is, her parents may have had high expectation of her academically, so they may have felt disappointed. They may have felt you didn't study hard enough and all of that. They may have felt that way, and they may have used this they may have used it against her, which further drive depression in. Instead of making her feel better, it made her feel bad. The truth of the matter is, her parents may also have received that kind of treatment from their parents. You know, in those days, I remember don't pass exam is a big deal. Her parents may have received that kind of treatment from their own parents. Like the time they did not pass exam, their parents condemning them, judging them, or even flogging them. Because I know of a family, even till today, if you don't pass, and the children don't pass, they are literally jittering. They are fidgeting if they have low grades because their dad will beat them. So the fact that her parents were able not to be broken by such treatment from that parent did not stop her from being broken by such treatment reaction from her parents. Now this is why we need to reparent ourselves. Now, because the fact that you can carry your pain, your abuse, and you can live life not being broken doesn't mean your child can't do the same way. Okay, let's go. So you join our challenge for next month, reparenting yourself challenge. It is just 10,000 naira only. Join our challenge. I promise you it is going to be transformational. The next one is accept imperfection. Accept imperfection. You are not perfect. Your child is not perfect. A lot of us parents, we have this perfect image. We don't remember that when we're young, their age, we're not perfect. Someone told me I expect my children to be perfect because I'm putting in a lot of work. When I was her age, my parents didn't put in the much work I am putting. So yes, I may not have been perfect because a lot of work was not put into me. Now I am putting in the work and I want to see results. Are you kidding me? Really? You expect your child to be perfect? So it simply means that mistakes are not a normal thing in your home. I say to parents, normalize mistakes. You see mistakes, you must learn to normalize mistakes if you want to raise healthy and whole children, because mistakes are a part of life. And it's even funny, it's ironic how we tell children, oh, mistakes don't define you, mistakes are a part of life, mistakes, you take your lessons from mistakes and you run. Yet when they make mistakes, we judge them, we criticize them. How does it even make sense? We are telling someone that mistakes don't define them, yet you are defining them by mistakes they are making. It is contradictory. It doesn't make sense. So imperfection, no one is perfect. You are not perfect. I am not perfect. No one is perfect in parents. No one is perfect. So what you want to do is to make sure imperfection is normal. In fact, perfection is an illusion. My kids know that perfection is an illusion. So I do not expect them to be perfect. However, I expect them to be excellent. It simply means that they put in their best. They are committed to what they do. They are loyal to themselves. They stretch themselves. They go the extra miles, you know. They just find the X factor, which is excellence, and deliver, and not necessarily perfection, because perfection is an illusion. So please, accept imperfection in your parenting. 7, celebrate wins and walk them through the fails. Celebrate wins and walk them through the fails. Now, it is easy for us to just criticize, condemn, judge, nag, and do all what we do when our children fall short. But when they are actually doing well, it becomes tough for very many parents to acknowledge that. Your children need to proudly, boldly come to you and share their wins with you, no matter how significant their wins are. Their wins are, you see, it may not even be a big deal. Your child will come to tell you, Mommy, see what I did. I beg, go and drop that in and go and read your book. Is that what you should be doing? Shouldn't you be reading your book? Or if you spend the time you spend on doing that and you spend that time on your books, you are going to be better with your academics. Really? You don't even know if it's that skill, that thing that is your child, that your child is called to do, that your child will be able to do and be on the global stage. You will just drive them away because of how we were nurtured, how we were taught, how we were raised, that, oh, it has to be school, it has to be school. Really? Again, I want to tell you, come and join us next month to reparent yourself. Because if you don't reparent yourself, you are going to be making the mistakes your parents made. So you are going to celebrate their wins for them. Their wins, whatever it is your child is proud of, they have done, as long as it's morally right. Join them, celebrate their wins. So when they feel at something, walk them through it. Walk them through it. That way, you are their strength, you are their cheerleader, you are their support, and they can always come back to you to share their wins with you, to share their struggles with you. They will always come back to you. We all like people who celebrate us now, don't you? I remember back then in school, we like people who celebrate us. Generally, naturally, everyone likes people who celebrate them. So your child will want to come to you, talk to you, share with you if you actually celebrate them. And if they fail at something, you walk them through it. Let's look at it together. They are going to feel bad. They are going to be depressed. They are going to be unhappy if they fail at something. Everybody, even the strongest man, the most emotionally intelligent man, the person with the biggest adversity quotient, if I'm going to use the word biggest, they are still going to feel bad when things don't go their way. Nobody likes to take a no. We all don't like to take a no. Of course, except it's a no, you've programmed you are being manipulative. We all don't like to take a no. So when your child gets a no from life, so what do? You walk them through it. Number 8, don't always lecture. Minimize the lecturing. Because if you're a parent, you are always lecturing. Something happens, then you sit down, you are always lecturing. I tell you, your child will not want to speak with you. Nobody likes that. You sit down, you're always lecturing, you should have done this, you shouldn't have done this, and this is how it means, this is the... No. When things happen, it's not even that moment you want to start lecturing. If you have laid the foundation, what you just want to do, you just say, okay, empathize, and ask them, what is your lesson from it? You may face a situation next time. What are you going to do about it? So that they can be proactive. That is what happens. You failed an exam. Okay, what do you learn from it? Maybe I didn't study enough. Maybe I studied enough. Maybe JAMB is not being fair or something. Okay, so what are we going to do about it? What is the way out? It means you're not going to write JAMB again until next year. So what is the way out? What are we going to do about it? There are schools you can go for diploma. There are schools you can go for prelim. They call them prelim courses where you spend about a couple of months before you enter direct entry. You can do that. You can write poly as poly JAMB. Maybe that's the next one. You can choose to learn a skill. Just learn whatever skill you want to learn. Be busy with that skill for till next year. Jesus, I do say that every day. Okay, repent. Where's my bell? I need to get a bell. I'll shake it and tell you to repent now. So you just help them, you walk them through. Like, you learn, they know that you are their pillar. So you can lecture, right? It is why in the Visionary Parent Academy, we have talk time with our children. Every weekend, every visionary mom gets to get a topic and a template, just a random thing. Sometimes it's inspired by what I see parents complain about. Sometimes it's inspired by what I need to teach my children. Like last week was about win-win. It was about when children are always, your kids are always fighting over items. They're always fighting. Maybe who will use this item, who will use this item. We teach them a win-win. It's not about win-lose, it's about win-win. That was what we learned. And we've learned a couple of other things. So that is when we sit down, we lecture. We have it as a conversation. We are teaching. That is when we sit and we teach. So after teaching, when something happens, you will not need to sit back and do another teaching again, because you have laid the foundation and now your child is experiencing this practically. It will make sense to them. So they are just going to share with you the lessons they've learned and then way forward in case it happens next time, in case you find yourself in that situation next time. So don't always lecture. Nobody likes it. It's boring, it's annoying. Normalize the forbidden topics. Now, this is one I don't know how to explain. Normalize the forbidden topics. I mean, there are some people, they still can't talk to their children about certain topics. I don't know why. I always say no topic is too small. No topic is too much for a child. However, there are age-appropriate ways to introduce a topic. No matter what the topic is, there are age-appropriate ways to introduce the topic. So all you need to learn is age-appropriate ways. It's possible that this boy that I started sharing at the beginning of the video that VDM talked about, it's possible that the boy would have been able to share with the parents initially, but maybe it's a topic they don't talk about in their house. It's a topic he has never heard of before, like Maybe they even talk to him about don't touch a girl, don't meet a girl, don't do something to a girl, but they have never told him about boy or man boy. They have never told him about that area. So when it happened to him, it may have been too heavy. When he got back home, it may have been too heavy for him to talk about. So normalize the forbidden topic. What is that topic? For me, I always say there is no topic I cannot teach my children. The other day I was talking about bestiality, teaching my children about that. My 8-year-old, I didn't want to teach it in a way that because I felt it was too young to understand what I was teaching my 13-year-old about it. So I tried to tell him that, okay, like some people now, they want to put their finger in the bum of animals, that is what I'm talking about. They want to put any part of their body or their finger, it can be anything. There is no topic that is too small, that is too big, heavy. All you need to do is to find a way to make it age appropriate so that your child will learn. What about toy? People using toy. I've also taught my children about that. I remember teaching my older child about fetishism, So when I was breaking it down, so for my younger 8-year-old, I was telling him that some people, they want to play with their private parts with different toys, with different things. They can be putting things in their private parts, And I told him how it's not good and all of that. So those are topics you say, how can I explain this to him? How can I explain this? How can I explain this? So there are age-appropriate ways. Normalize forbidden topics. Speak your child's love language. Everyone has a love language. You speak. That's one of the things we did this month in the Visionary Parent Academy. Identify your child's love language and speak it. That way your child feels loved. They feel comfortable. They feel one thing about love language. I've said it over and over again. Now, if one of the things parents do is your child's love language may be words of affirmation, then what you now do is now use that words against them. Name call them. Each time you do that, you are hurting them deeper. It will be better for you to take a kid and flog them. If your child's love language is words of affirmation, for that child, it's better for you to flog them. If your child's love language is touch, that child may prefer to say anything you want to say. You know why? Because that hands bring them comfort. Those words bring them comfort. And of course, you know that everyone's love language, no one is predominantly one love language. No one has just one love language. We all have the 5 love languages. They all appeal to us. Quality time, service, touch, affirmation. What's the 5th one again? Quality time. They all appeal to us. Speak your child's love language. When you don't speak your child's love language, they feel empty. I've shared this story before. Someone close to me back then in school who one day woke up and said he was dating a guy. We thought, the guy was the best thing, was one of the sweetest creatures on earth. And one day she said to us that I'm breaking up. I said, why? I said, I'm not feeling him. If you don't speak your child's love language, there's every likelihood that your child will feel a certain emptiness inside. And guess what? When pedophiles are profiling, they know better. Because what they want to do is they don't want to get caught. So because they don't want to get caught, they are going to do everything. Have you ever wondered why after maybe the parent, like the case of this boy, the parent may also have told him everything about not allowing himself to be defied by someone, yet he did not tell them. If he was not caught, he wouldn't have opened his mouth to speak about it. Have you ever wondered? These people, they know the child's love language. They speak the child's love language. So if the child is love language starved at home, the child is now getting it outside. The child will believe that person genuinely loves them. So what do you do to people you love? You protect. People you think love you, care about you. What do? You protect them. Because that person loves them by speaking their love language, they in turn love that person. And because they love that person, they will not speak up. They will protect the person. It is why many children, they will not speak up when they are being abused. They don't speak up. Some parents will have to. I have a case of 2 teenagers. They're just teenagers now. One is just 13 May this month? This month is May. She was abused when she was 8 years old. Till today, she didn't tell her parents, you know. So we have that case every single time. And guess what? Like I was telling them, when they don't tell, these people, they go ahead to do it to more children. And the more children don't tell, the more they are destroying the society. Speak your child's love language. Speak your child's love language. And I have a book that will help you understand your child's love language. Understanding Your Child is my parenting book in hard copy. That book is transformational. So you can just check my store on Seller. You are going to see a lot of my resources on Seller. And they are at a very affordable price. You know, just buy them and you get yourself empowered when it comes to parenting. Respect their personal space is another thing you should do as a parent. As children grow older, they begin to ask for their privacy. This is no way insinuate they are up to some mischief. Don't push or choke them with monitoring. Yes, when you monitor them too much, they are not comfortable. They don't want to talk to you. They want to hide secrets from you. In fact, they want to hide secrets from you. Shebi, you want to disturb me. Shebi, you are always encroaching. Shebi, you are always barging in. Shebi, you are always going through my things. Okay, let me see how you will know this. They want to hide secrets from you. When they are supposed to tell you, they will not tell you. They will feel irritated. Share the happenings around you. Share the happenings around you. This is super important also. When you share things that are happening around you, like this case of VDM, I'm going to share it to my kids before the weekend. You know, I'm looking for the best. I didn't share it with them yesterday night or this morning because I'm looking for the most appropriate language to break it down so that my 8-year-old and my 13-year-old, they can understand without putting ideas or anything, you know. So share happenings around them. The fact that the boy was infected with HIV is definitely a big lesson, you know, for them. So share happenings around you with your children. They are practical and human experiences. Even you as a parent, when you go out, you have a lot of issues, you have a lot of troubles, you come back and share with your children. I once shared here on Facebook that, for example, you go out, you are pressed, you want to defecate, and it's in a very wrong place. What do? You find you're able to navigate it. When you come back home, it's something worth sharing with your children. Today I was pressed, I was on traffic, I was driving on Third Mainland Bridge, and suddenly I felt like defecating. I didn't even know what to do. I was just praying to God, you know. Mom, what did you not do? I can imagine. You now say, that was why I quickly drove to Owuroshoki, or I quickly drove, instead of me to pass straight, I now had to pass through Adeniji, or I had to pass through Dolphin. And when I passed through Dolphin, I parked somewhere. I went to one of the restaurants there and I begged them. Or I went to the bank, I begged them. I went to the filling station, I begged them. Or I went to one of the offices there. You know, I didn't want to go to a private house, so, you know, because private houses, we don't trust too much people. Or I went to a school there because school is in session. I saw children there. I told the security, and the security had a toilet in his gate. I was able to use it. You share. What are you doing? Your children know that you are human, number one. Number two, they also learn how to navigate such situations. You know, I told my children, one time I went to the market, my 12 market, you know, I wore a sleeveless shirt like this and the trousers. So one aboki just held my hand. I said, leave me. And I just flung his hand away and he said, if you don't want me to touch you, you know what make I touch, why you wear this kind of cloth? I go home, I told my children, I said, since then I learned that when I'm going to that my 12 market, I cover properly. I will not wear something like that, because to aboki, I was telling them, because they have their own religion, you know, their religion requires them requires the woman to cover totally. So it simply means that if I'm wearing something that is not covering me totally, for them is an invitation to truth. So this is is about being culturally smart. So when you are going to a place, for example, you know that it's predominated by people with that mindset or people with that culture. What you want to do, so that you are not sending the wrong signals, you just make sure you are well covered. You know, you are teaching your children, sharing real life happenings with them to build their skills. The next one is teach them life skills. This is super important. I have a friend who taught her son about dating. The son was like 16, 17, about dating and all of that. And one day the son said to her, Mom, you didn't tell me that guests will also come and be asking me out to, you know. The mom said, oh, really? What happened? And she told her mom what happened. Now, it was easy for him to come and talk to her mom because her mom had already introduced him to the topic. Her mom already told him, okay, this is the phase you are. You are 16 years old. You are in SS3. You are about to graduate from 15, 16, or even 14. Your people your age are already thinking about dating. Boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, this is it. This is what you should expect. So it was easy for him to come and tell her mom, and see what I experienced today, because it happens. So if, for example, if you tell your child about crush, like my son came to me one day and was telling me a girl told another boy to come and tell him that she was crushing on him. Why was he able to tell me that? Because it is a topic we've talked about, and I've taught him how to navigate it. Even when he's the one crushing on someone, he should know he has crushed on someone before. That was even when he was in grade 4, 5, and he still came to tell me he was crushing on someone. Why was it easy? Because I have talked to him about this. I'm not talking. I did not talk to him about like I'm judging. It's a big deal. It is not a big deal. It is not even a topic that we talk hush hush. It's not a topic we talk hush hush. It's a topic we just talk like. When I'm having a conversation with my children, no matter the conversation, there's no topic that we talk hush hush that is heavy. Every single topic we talk about it freely. You know why? Because we don't want a topic to look so big, so heavy that they will not be able to talk about it with us. I don't want that. My husband and I, we don't want them to see a topic like, this is too much. Oh, no matter what the topic is. We want them to be we just talk about it like normal. There is no secret topic we are talking about. No matter the topic you can think of. Why? So that it is normal. It is not heavy for them. Then they come to us and it's easy for them to talk about. That is it. So I was going to wrap up, but I think I'm getting to the interesting part of it. Keep confidence. Now, this is super important. 14. Parents do this a lot. A relative actually reached me. She was complaining about her son. I told her one thing. I said, I understand you have reached me to complain about your son. Now, if a person cannot proffer solution, if you have issues about your children, do not pick your phone. You call your brother, you call your sister, you call your uncle, you call your auntie. You are reporting your children to everybody in the village, everybody in the world. Now, those people may be related to you. They're your brother, your sisters. They are not your children's brothers and sisters. Even if they were your children's brothers and sisters, there are things your children would not want their siblings to hear. So your children, they come to tell you something. You don't go about telling it to other people all in the name of, oh, no. You need to be sure that this person can help you with solution. If the person doesn't help you with solution, there is no point bothering everybody. Before you know what is happening, you shared something about your child with your sister or your brother. Your sister or your brother takes that thing and they tell it to their own children. Their children or your children are friends. Or their children have friends. Before you know what is happening, something your child told you in confidence, someone else is telling your child. How would they feel? How would you feel as a parent? How would you feel that you told someone something and the next day you are hearing it somewhere? Maybe it's something confidential. How would you feel? You would not like it. Will you trust that person to tell that person again? Of course, no now. How will you trust someone with a loose tongue? You will not. So your child will not share things with you. If they share something with you, you are busy telling other people. They will not. They simply cannot trust you. So they will not share with you. Again, your brother is not your child's brother. Bear that in mind. And number 15, show that you can protect your child. I remember a friend of mine said something that back then the father will always tell them, God will judge. God, everything God will judge them. So because of that, they didn't bother to talk to their dad about things they were going through. Because it's leave it for God, God will judge. and they were not seeing God judging immediately. So, and they need them, maybe somebody will beat them up, and the father will tell them, maybe God will judge. And they will see the person the following day doing very well. They didn't want that. I also shared my story at the beginning of this class. Why did I not tell my mom? Because my mom had never shown that she was going to, my mom is phlegmatic, calm, and just minding her business. She's phlegmatic. So her choleric is kind of, situation brings it out. Ordinarily, she's just phlegmatic. So it never looked as if she was going to be able to protect us, especially because my dad was the one that was always complaining about us. And as a good wife, she will always support the husband. So it was almost as if they were always pushing us. They would not protect us. So because my dad then, we used to be very afraid. We didn't even want anyone to go and tell my dad. If we do anything, we didn't want anyone to tell my dad, I see what your kids did though, because we knew that we're going to receive beating. So we're always like, it would be easy for us to just cooperate with people outside, so that they will not go and tell our dad things like that. And my mom was always, even though my mom was not a smacking type, she was a nagging type, and she will always support my dad. So somehow we just have the mindset that they will ask us what we went to do there. They will ask me what I went to do there. I talk about don't blame. They will ask me, what did you go and do at Pedro's house? Is that where we are supposed to be? So I didn't want to tell my mom. So but funny enough, my mom came back, and when she learned about it, she really dealt with the Pedro, and she protected me. Something everybody in my neighborhood was like, are you kidding me? You know how they say phlegmatic, push them to the wall and they are going to fight back. You can push them, keep pushing them, and they'll be so calm, and you think, oh, but push them to the wall. When they have no choice, they will fight back. That was about it that day for my mom and Pedro. So show your children that you can protect them. Sometimes it's not leave it for God. Sometimes it's not just the calm type. Show them that you can protect. You don't have to be all dramatic. I told you how my son was wrongly flogged in school. I didn't go there to make a scene. I wasn't dramatic. I just sat down quietly, folded my leg like the lady I am, and I was presenting my case. And when the man was saying, my son, I said, you can call him, because I was confident that my son would not come home and tell me a version, a wrong version, or a lie or something like that, So even though I was not dramatic, the fact that I went there and I made sure, I told him, I said, see, look at my son very well. And I'm glad one of the secretaries then said, okay, because they have two secretaries. One of the secretaries then said, okay, let me even see the son, because there are people who are nuisance. Let me see your son. But she said, no, he's definitely not part of them. So I told him, that tells you something, because this particular teacher teaches the SS class. I said, that tells you something. So what you want to do now is to make sure that whenever the case involves him, investigate. If he's wrong, any discipline you want to take, action or punishment you want to take, I won't come, you won't see me if he's wrong. But if he's not wrong, please do well to investigate. And so when you are presenting the issue to me, make sure he's wrong. So show your children that you can protect them. Next one is don't talk to them, talk with them, not at them. We are quick to do that, and that slackens our relationship. Talk to them about your struggles and fails. I've shared that also when I talked about, for example, you were driving and you were pressed. You should share with your children. It makes you human, so it makes it easy for them to also share with you their human aspect. Openly protect them. I've shared about you protecting them. Help them find solutions. Sometimes your children actually want you to help them find solutions to issues. So you meet their needs. It's not you assuming. Ask them, okay, what do you want me to do in this situation? They'll say, okay, I need you to help me. I need you to help me think. I just want you to help me stay and see what I'm doing, and let me see when I'm doing it right or wrong. Know exactly what they want and do that. Teach them to do what is right. Teach them to do the right thing all the time. Keep a promise. You make a promise to your child, keep it. Never compare. Be deliberate about your reactions. I think I'll stop at the next one now, because the next one is very interesting. Be deliberate about your reactions. I'm just seeing interesting ones. Okay, let's go. Be deliberate about your reactions. Many times children will just want to be dramatic all over the place. I tell you, this drama makes them not want to talk to us. I shared the story at the beginning of the class when the girl, I think a man, not a boy her age, the man, an older man, was asking her out, and she told her dad. The next thing, the father went to use police to arrest the man. Like, why will you be asking my daughter out and all of that? So she was embarrassed in the neighborhood. So because of that, anything she would not want to share with her dad. So minimize the drama. For some parents, something wants to happen. It's all dramatic. You just react in such a way that your child will be like, nah, I don't want this drama. This drama puts an idea in their head. That is why I told you that there is no topic I'm telling my children in my house that we are dramatic about. What is the topic? What is the big deal? What is the big deal? I mean, what is it? Why should I? Is somebody's life involved? You know, it's just to teach them skills, how to navigate, begin to think of how to unplant any seed that has been planted, shape their mindset. That is it. So why should I be like all dramatic? Maybe your child makes a mistake. Oh my God, you are so dramatic. Some parents will begin to yell, you begin to nag, you begin to report up and down. You do as if your child has done what Napoleon could not do. You know, that drama is very, very discouraging. Now, let me be deliberate about your first reaction. So what is usually your first reaction when your child comes to report an issue to you? What is usually your first reaction? This is where you need to learn emotional intelligence. Your first reaction should not be to judge, to condemn. You should be calm in a way that is as if unbothered, calm and unbothered. Because if you look at it, it is never an emergency. Even some parents, they go to school, they are all dramatic. I'm wondering, are you okay? Nah, minimize the drama as much as you can. Be intentional about your reaction. Whenever something happens and you want to react, be super, super intentional about it. Make sure that you get if you pass across the message you want to pass across, your child get the effect they should be getting. So be intentional about your reaction. Now, let me shock you. Number 24, don't judge others. For very many parents, you start judging people. That is why I tell you, gossip. I don't know how you have time to be gossiping. Because when you are gossiping, you are judging people. You know, I remember a story one time, a girl, she didn't tell that what happened was someone, not her friend, someone was almost taken advantage of, you know. And when the mom got to know about it, the mom was like, what did she go there to do? What did she go there? See the way she dresses all the time, carrying her body, doing this one. She's one that is calling them now, invitation to a treat. The mom was just judging, condemning a useless girl. Guess what? This particular girl had a similar experience. She did not tell her mom because her fear was that it simply means that my mom will also tell me is the way I'm dressed, the way I carry my body, the way I do this, the way I do that. She did not tell her mom. So when you judge others in the presence of your children, you are telling them your mindset, right? What you think about that thing, what you think about that person. So if, God forbid, your child has a similar experience, they will not be able to tell you, because through judging that person, you have judged them already. By judging that person, you have judged them already. Even without them committing any act, you have judged them already. So they will not want to tell you. So don't judge. When we say don't go about judging people, nah, just don't judge. Now the next one is, don't fix behavior with punishment. We already know this. Don't fix behavior with don't fix misbehavior with punishment. Like I always say, if there is something about your child you don't want them to stop or you want them to start doing, it is because it is advantageous to them. So why not sell the advantage to them? Why not let them face the consequences of their actions? Don't fix misbehavior with punishment. Let the past be where it belongs. Let the past be where it belongs. This should be the last one I'll talk about now. I still have other ones. Interesting. Let me stop here. Let the past be where it belongs. For very many parents, something happens today, they remember the one that happened last year, the one that happened before the child was born, the one that happened when Nigeria was amalgamated, the one that happens when Clifford, when Lugard was the governor general. They remember everything. You are blaming. What do you think happens? You are wearing your child's trust, because they don't know how many times you will repeat this one again, because you are still going to repeat it over and over and over again. They are tired of hearing the one you were repeating yesterday, so they want to come and add another one to it. They will not add to it. Please, I have offended you like 5 times, and you have, every time you keep repeating it. You want me to come and add this one again so that you'll be repeating it the more? No, let me leave this where it is. So they will not want to talk to you. They will not want to share with you, because if you don't leave the past where it belongs, leave the past where it belongs. So I hope you learned ways that you can earn your child's trust. Like I told you, if your child doesn't trust you, they will not be able to share with you, you know. And guess what? The experience our children go through every day, the experience they have every day, shape them, give them a certain mindset. Gives them a certain mindset that shape them. So one of the things you want to do is, if you actually want your children to uphold your values, you need to be able to understand what goes on in their lives. The seeds that are constantly being planted. They watch television, they go to school. School is a major agent of socialization. They go to church. My son was telling me that day in church that one boy was watching porn. Can you imagine? That, anyway, that was a long time ago. Can you imagine? School, church, neighborhood, major agent of socialization. And your child will go outside there. You will learn from them. They will have an experience that will either make them or break them. And they cannot come and share with you. If they cannot come and share with you, who will they share with? How are you certain that the person they are sharing with means well for them? This person they are sharing with genuinely cares about them. What if they go on to share with someone who actually has negative intentions? Like the teenagers that were molested at the age of 8. One of them said she shared with the godfather. I don't remember who the other one shared with now. It's not too long ago, but I don't know why I don't remember. I think the teacher. Both of them teachers. Okay, no, one pastor, a man, one the godfather. Yes, one shared with the pastor, one shared with the godfather. These are men. They were molested. Now just imagine if the men they shared with, they are men with evil intentions. What do you think will happen? The men will go ahead to take more advantage. Something like, if you don't let me, I'm going to tell your mom. Something like that can actually make the girls go do it with the men. Before you know what is happening at age 13, because both of them were molested at age 8. At age 9, they'll be addicted. I've heard of a story of a girl before who traveled to greet his uncle, and guess what? She was the one when she when she came to spend the holiday with the uncle. She was caught. She was 9 years old. She was caught with the uncle's wife's younger brother, uncle's wife's cousin, younger cousin that was living with them. She was caught with them. And so, family meeting was called. The man was a politician. They didn't want the new information to get out. They had to send the uncle's wife's cousin that was living with them away, because he was caught molesting her. They sent him away. It was about 2 days or the following day that the uncle's daughter came to report that in the night the girl was touching her. 2 days later, the first night the girl was touching her. So she went to sleep elsewhere. The second night the girl came, was touching her, was now putting her hand in the girl's sensitive areas. That was where the girl spoke up. A 9-year-old, she was already addicted. So addicted that she was doing it with a boy and a girl. Who knows? The uncle, the cousin that was driven away, she may have been the one that introduced, she may have been the one that went to. I'm not saying this is justified, because the cousin was already above 18. I think about 19, 20, 21 years about. He should have known to tell the girl, no, that's not right. But hey, the girl was, because that was what the boy said, that the girl was the one that initiated it. She was already addicted to it. You know, just imagine, at 9, that's rehabilitation. I doubt, maybe redemption. So if your children cannot talk to you, then who can they talk to with what the world is going into? I saw some boys on Facebook one time. They traveled from all the way from where they were to Warri to go and learn Yahoo. Their family, their parents were not aware. We saw some girls recently. I think during that time, VDM was doing something about some girls that went to Ivory Coast. During that period, I saw some other girls that were in one particular place, that they took them there to start selling their bodies. Someone told them about they go to this place. Many of them did not tell their parents. The one that pained me worse was that they went to Ghana. I think there was one 14 or thereabouts. They were a sibling, 2 girls of one parent, 14 and maybe the other one 15 or thereabouts, traveled all the way down. Because if they had told their parents would have said no. They didn't tell their parents. They entered a bus, left Nigeria, cross border. A lot of things are going on. Do you think they just woke up and went on their own? They did not wake up and go on their own. They were not kidnapped. Somebody would have come to put ideas into their head. Somebody would have come to sell to them an opportunity. Tell them, make them feel it's an opportunity. You come to Ghana, you are going to do this, you are going to do that. They did not tell their parents. They just entered the next available flight. They went there. So a lot of things happen every single day. Should if you're a parent, you have teenagers, I beg of you, you cannot afford not to know what goes on in the life of your teens. You cannot. In fact, you cannot. They hear a lot of things every day. They see a lot of things. They get a lot of offers every day. Children are being lured into doing a lot of things. Some young children that have no idea what it means. They will just think it's play. They come back, they cannot talk to their parents. Sometimes they don't even threaten them. What about the boys? I said they left where they were to go and learn how to do Yahoo without their parents' knowledge or concept, nothing. They are afraid to tell them about how to buy them, how a 14-year-old needs to drive the latest car. They will not come and tell their parents, see the thoughts their friends are selling to them, see the ideas their parents are giving them. They will not come. So I beg you as a parent, you definitely need to know what goes on in the life of your child so that you can guide them. If you don't, you will not be able to guide them. Thank you so much for joining. If you are just joining, what you want to do is to go to the beginning of this class to watch this video. I promise you it is very empowering. And I spoke from a handbook. If you want it, you can send a message and I'll send it to you. If you are in the Visionary Parent Academy, don't worry. After this class, I will send it to you. Coach Inabi is not here today. She would have sent it immediately. I will send to you after this class. Remember, this was brought to you by the Visionary Parent Academy. And next month, we have the Reparenting Yourself Challenge. Reparenting Yourself Challenge. We all need to reparent ourselves so that we can make better choices, empowering choices for our children, so that we are not raising broken children. We are not raising children who need to reparent themselves or who need to heal from how we raise them. So I want to encourage you to join our Reparenting Yourself Challenge, which is next month. Thank you. My name is Inappropriate, and this is Parent with Inappropriate. I forgot to mention, please copy this link and share. Let parents know that there's something going on here. If you got value and you're not in the Visionary Parent Academy, even if you're in the Visionary Parent Academy, you got value, one of the things you want to do to say thank you to us is by sharing this link. Go to your WhatsApp, share it to your share with your parenting groups there, share with your alumni, old school alumni, share with your church communities where you have parents, share with your, what's the other place you share now? Your children's PTA, where there are parents there. So at the end of the day, everyone gets empowered and everyone parents intentionally. So click the link, share, and invite people to join this community so that we all learn and raise a better society. Thank you for joining. See you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.